We're back for WCW Nitro. We're on September 4th, 2000, Fallout of Fall Brawl. And we're opening the show with Goldberg getting a promo on Out Comes Rey Mysterio and the WCW World Champion Lance Storm. And these guys are exchanging words. Tonight we're going to see Goldberg versus Rey Mysterio. And also, at Clash of the Champions, which is also this episode, is going to be next Saturday. It's going to be Rey Mysterio versus Lance Storm in a rematch, 67. Tonight also is Goldberg versus Rey Mysterio in the main event. Cash gets his opportunity at the Cruiserweight Championship that he earned by winning a Battle Royal last night, and Chris Candido gets the win after interference from Bam Bam Bigelow. Afterwards, Candido and Bigelow beat down Kevin Nash and Cash, and Kevin Nash ends up making the save. 57. Booker T gets a promo. Out comes Chris Kanyon. They agree to a match at our next pay-per-view, which is it No Remorse? I think so. 65. We've got the Second City Saints backstage. They're having an angle, and Punk is, of course, having some tough time with Ace Steel and Colt Cabana, upset at their way of drinking and all that, and that cost them the Battle Royal last night at Fall Brawl. Punk was saying one of them would have an opportunity at the Cruiserweight Championship if Ace Steel and Colt Cabana didn't have themselves distracted with smoking some marijuana and drinking the night before, so 37, or right before the match, I should say. Billy Kidman and Sabu have a match next, and Kidman successfully defeats Sabu, pulls out a 75 for Billy Kidman, so a pretty good match right here. Mike Awesome and Ric Flair exchange words, and they're going to be also facing off on pay-per-view, so a 58 right here. DDP continues his open challenge. This gets a 66, and Roddy Piper answers the challenge, and DDP successfully defeats Roddy Piper and retains the United States, or the television championship, in 5:36. Booker T and Canyon are brawling backstage. Gets a 60. And in our main event, Rey Mysterio and Goldberg ends in a double DQ after Lance Storm ran in and attacked Goldberg and Rey Mysterio. He then beats them down with a steel chair. And a pretty decent show, I guess. So we'll take it. Unfortunately, losing us some popularity, but that's fine. Stevie Ray's contract's ending, and I don't think I'm going to re-sign Stevie Ray. I just don't think so. Alright, I'll be right back with our next episode of Nitro in just one moment. Alright, right here we've got Lance Storm and Rey Mysterio opening the show. They're cutting promos on each other. They're facing off this weekend at Clash of the Champions 38 for the World Heavyweight Championship, A57. DDP, open challenge, of course, and it is answered by Simon Diamond, and he successfully defends the TV title, and he will defend it once again at Clash of the Champions. The Steiners cut a promo, and out comes Colt Cabana and Ace Steel, and they won a challenge for the Tag Team Championships, but not at Clash of the Champions. The Steiners will be defending against another team, whom I haven't decided yet, but they will not be the Second City Saints, because they will be getting their opportunity on pay-per-view. So at 41, Goldberg comes out, and Jeff Jarrett interrupts, and Jarrett's tired of Goldberg always getting opportunities at the World Championship, while Jarrett has to prove himself to get opportunities. So Jarrett wants to face Goldberg next week, and the winner can receive a World Heavyweight Championship match on pay-per-view. And Goldberg accepts. So next week, Goldberg versus Jarrett. I'm actually going to book it right now before I forget. And I made a mistake concerning Mike Awesome and Ric Flair. They're actually settling their differences tonight in a cage, and I forgot about that. So 71. Cash versus Bam Bam's up next, and Cash defeats Bam Bam Bigelow after interference from Kevin Nash, and Chris Candido also interfering in the match. Cash versus Candido is happening at Clash of the Champions, and Bam Bam versus Kevin Nash as well. 67. Chris Kanyon cuts a promo, and out comes Eric Bischoff, and he books Chris Kanyon versus Booker T at our next pay-per-view, and it will be a last man standing match. 56. Arn Anderson's talking to Ric Flair backstage, and he wishes him good luck against the career killer. Kurt Hennig and Dustin Rhodes again. They're backstage, and they wish Ric Flair good luck against the career killer. And then we get Sting walking up to Ric Flair and wishing him good luck against the career killer. And Ric Flair defeats the career killer in a cage, successfully beats Mike Awesome, and a 73. Gets an 80. Really good show. We're going to be proud of that. And we get some popularity growth. Successful show for Nitro. And that's not it for today's episode, though. We still have Clash of the Champions 38, which I don't know if it's on Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember. It might be on Sunday. Dustin Rhodes. You like Dustin Rhodes? DDP. Alright, we'll give Dustin Rhodes versus you for the TV title at Clash of the Champions then. That's what we'll do. It's in 5 days, so it would be on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Alright, let's get over to Clash of the Champions. We'll be right back in just one moment with that. Alright, we're here for Clash of the Champions 38. Tony Schiavone opens the show, runs down the card. And we open the show with the Bad Street Boys taking on the Steiner Brothers for the Tag Team Championships. And Scott Steiner submits Christian York with the Steiner Recliner. Decent match right here, 63. Cash versus Chris Candido. Chris Candido successfully retains the Cruiserweight Championship using the ropes for leverage, 61. Kevin Nash and Bam Bam Bigelow, non-title match right here because Kevin Nash is not U.S. champ anymore. It's Shane Douglas. And a 65 right here. Kevin Nash gets the win. DDP versus Dustin Rhodes. DDP retains the television championship. Sting versus Shane Douglas. Sting submits Shane Douglas, and Sting is the new United States champion. We had some interference in this match. Bam Bam Bigelow attacks Sting. Chris Candido attacks Sting. Nash and Cash finally came down to make the save. So Sting is the new United States champion. Kind of dropped the ball right there on Shane Douglas being U.S. champ, but he was supposed to be a transitional champ to get the belt onto Sting anyway. 61. And our main event, Rey Mysterio versus Lance Storm. Storm retains the title with a handful of tights and is still World Heavyweight Champion. A 74. It's not too bad. We get some money for it. Popularity goes up in Puerto Rico, so we're not going to complain. And we progress some storylines with the U.S. title and the world title. So now Rey Mysterio is going to be out of the World Heavyweight Championship picture for the time being. Don't worry, he will make a return to it very soon. Alright, 2.7 million viewers. So this is where we're at with WCW. Cruiserweight champion is Chris Candido. He's been holding it for 43 days. TV champion is DDP, 63 days. U.S. champ is now Sting. World heavyweight champion is still Lance Storm. And tag team champions are still the Steiners. Our next Clash of the Champions. So our next pay-per-view is No Remorse. It's on October 1st. So October 1st, and then we have Halloween Havoc on October 29th. So Clash of the Champions is going to be on October 15th. Perfect. So these are our pay-per-views for the remainder of the year. We got No Remorse, which is named after a Metallica song. Clash of the Champions. Halloween Havoc, of course. Aggression. And then we're going to Starrcade. And then I gotta get a pay-per-view name for January 2001. I could go with what they were using in real life, WCW Sin. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to call it something else. Super Brawl is going to stay Super Brawl. Uncensored is going to stay uncensored. Spring Stampede's good. Slamboree's good. That's going to go back to the Great American Bash. Bash at the Beach. And then we've got to change Infamy. Alright. So I think this is where we'll end this episode of WCW. Next episode we'll be running No Remorse. On the pay-per-view, there will be the winner of Goldberg versus Jarrett, which you already saw is Goldberg versus Lance Storm for the world title. Cruiserweight champion Chris Candido and Bam Bam Bigelow, Shane Douglas are going to continue their feud with Sting, Nash, and Cash. DDP continues his open challenge. And Steiners versus Second City Saints. We also got Chris Kanyon versus Booker T on that card in the last man standing match. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, and goodbye.